Oh, there's lensrental.com I've used.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I have my son-in-law's Canon 100 to 400 that I can use, and I've taken some pictures with that, and it looks good. I can hold it, but it's a $2,300 lens, so I really don't want to take it. But
why don't you consider the larger Sigma lens?
Up to 600?
Yeah.
Well, talking with another photo group, they said that when you're doing safari wildlife photography, and that's my wife and I experienced being in Kenya, that they're up close, and a 600 would be, I wouldn't be able to get them. I'd be changing lenses and things, and I'm trying to travel light.
What she's talking about is a 150 to 600.
Yes. I've been looking at that, wanting it for wildlife photography up here, because everything seems to be 100 or so feet away.
Yeah.
But here's a question. If I would get the Sigma 100 to 400 and then get a I don't know, adapter, converter, whatever to put in, to the only one I can find is a Canon 2X, and that would be because the Sigma one doesn't have good reviews. Canon does, but am I using the right terminology when I do a search?
Well, the thing is, though, you're going to lose f-stop, and I don't know when you go out. Safaris I've done, you go out early in the morning, and then you're out late in the afternoon too, going into evening. So you're going to lose f-stops. You're going to be running at a higher ISO, so you're going to lose some quality on your shots.
Yeah, I am taking a monopod that has 3 legs that can come out to make it a little stabler. And the Rebel is good at collecting light. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Because last time we were out, I had an early Rebel, like a 3, 4, 5, but I didn't have software or anything, so the pictures were kind of like dismal. They weren't sharp or anything. Now I have better equipment. So, but what my question was, am I using the right terminology to look for an enlarger, converter, adapter, whatever?
We call it teleconverter.
Teleconverter. Okay. All right. That's good. Thank you. And Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy
New Year to you.
Okay. By the way, the one thing you didn't tell us, I think is that a full size sensor, or is that a crop sensor?
Crop sensor.
So then you're actually shooting up to 600 anyway, and you're probably at what, 150 or whatever on the low end. So you could get away with that 100 to 400.
Ah, good point. Thank you very much. I forgot about that.
Right. So you're actually getting the reach I think you think you need.
Okay, excellent. I knew this group could help me.
And you got to make sure, I don't know if a teleconverter will work on any of those long Sigma lenses, period. So
Right, that's why I'm having trouble finding one. And
yeah, you may not find one. You'd have to check with Sigma to make sure that a 2X or even a 1.4X converter would even fit on one.
Yeah.
I know on my Nikons, they don't on the 200 to 500 that Nikon makes.
Yeah, I was going to call B&H to get their opinion, but no, I don't have to. I'm all good. Thank you.
Yeah, and I do think, that suggestion, you're going to lose a lot of light. That really is one full stop, and that's a substantial amount of, shutter speed that you would lose, or ISO, one or the other.
Right.
And that's on the 1.4 or 1.5. So if you go to 2, you're losing 2 stops of light. So that's a lot of light to lose.
Yes.
Yeah, especially on that long zoom when you're starting at 5.6 probably.
Yeah. Okay,
think as
thank
it
you
is.
again.
I can use my teleconverter on my Sigma 150 to 600.
Oh, you
So
can,
I
okay.
don't know whether you can on the 100 to 400, but you can on the 150 to 600.
Ah, okay.
You can also use them on the Sonys, the 200 to 600s, and they're very sharp, but it just takes it up to right away an f like 8 or 9. So it's like I say, it really just cuts a lot down on your light.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing too is
Want to
the
also
field is
check
going to expand.
if
and
you're going to
not
use the
gonna
teleconverter.
Focus on your subject nearly as well as if on a lower f-stop.
Yeah, if you're going to use a teleconverter, make sure your camera will be able to focus with it.
Yes,
Some of the lower
I
end
am-
cameras will not work, will not
Yes,
focus when you
I've
put a
been-
teleconverter on.
I'm checking all the reviews and everything, and the one that looked good said, yeah, everything works except focus.
Yeah,
Um,
you're back to manual focus if you
Yeah.
have the wrong
Yeah.
body.
Or it might be really slow focusing too, so.
Yeah.
With
I
the
personally
converter.
use the 100 to 400 Canon with a 1.4, but I have a Canon 7D Mark II, and I only get center focus with that.
Yeah,
If I used it with my Rebel, it probably wouldn't focus.
I think the president wants to start the meeting here, folks.
okay, Roger, you can start.
I was waving to Ian's daughter. But yeah, we should start the meeting. Welcome, everyone. This is the Menomonee Falls Camera meeting or Camera Club meeting. And to start off, we have 2 new members that we'd like to welcome to the group. One is Pam Gann. Hello,
Everyone,
can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What kind of photography you like to do? Landscapes, portraits, family pictures, travel?
yeah, I like landscape the best. I like a lot of nature photography. I'm just getting back into it though. I've been out of photography for a long time. Had a couple back injuries, and it just was too much, even lifting the equipment. Actually, it was a lot even walking for a while. So I feel like I'm starting over after several years. I have a Nikon D7000.
Okay.
I obviously know how to use automatic, but I'm seriously, I'm learning all over again how to get in the manual, and I'm trying to force myself to start learning to shoot that way instead of using the program modes that are in there and the automatic and the aperture. I've actually worked with a couple of different photographers, and I've been taking some classes with them. I started to right before the holidays, and I'm going to be picking up again. So I like, travel photography. I love. I've had a bunch of different cameras all through my life. Some were point and shoot digital. I had my first camera as a kid was a Pentax K1000, but I don't remember how to use that, and I don't even have the camera anymore. I mean, I was young when my parents got me that, and I never got the crisp pictures that I wanted because they didn't know really how to use it, and therefore, you know, I didn't have anybody to learn from when I was that young, and we didn't really have the internet when I was that young. So yeah, I'm starting all over again.
Well, great. Welcome to the club. And
Thank you.
yeah, we do have quite a few Nikon users that you can tap off of for information.
Sweet.
And our second person is Bonnie Lemer. I haven't seen her
Yeah.
name on the list.
no, I don't see her here.
Okay, well, hopefully
Maybe on the
we'll
next one.
see her in the next meeting. Let's kind of move on. That I don't think there's anything much new going on in Wacko, but
Nope, just
Well-
promoting our March seminar with Jennifer Renwick and David Kingham. It's the first Saturday in March from 9 a.m. till about 1 or whenever they end. 20. Oh, geez, Ken, I've lost it. 25? Oh, you're muted, Ken.
I think it's just 20.
20, is it? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm working on so many different ones. I can't
Yeah.
keep it straight.
I think it might be 20 if you register before a
Yeah,
certain date. Otherwise,
Yeah, I
it's
think
25.
20 for the early registration, 25 for the late registration, I think.
It's 20 before February 11th and then 25 after February 11th.
Thank you.
I just
I got
put 20 in because it's before February 11th, so I'll
Yep.
change that for those procrastinators
Yep.
later.
So please sign up. It'll be a good digital seminar. David and Jennifer take excellent photos out west, and David will talk about black and white photography, and Jennifer will talk about abstracts in landscape photography. So sign up. There's, I think, a link in the newsletter for it. Otherwise, get a hold of me. And that's really all that Wacko
Jeff?
has.
Jeff,
Okay.
Jeff,
Yep.
what about the survey for the meeting in person for the
Yeah.
competition? How's that going?
Well, we didn't get many surveys back. So out of 700 surveys sent out, we had 32 sent back. So I guess not too many people care, is my thought. But we're analyzing what we got back, and we'll see what we come up with. We're going to have a meeting this month to discuss all that.
Okay, and on the digital form, you canceled the meeting on Christmas Eve.
Right, yeah. Christmas Eve, I put out a video for January Digital Forum, which is the fourth Saturday of the month. We have Jamie Kaminsky Davidson, I think is her last name. She will be talking about infrared photography and more about abstract using infrared photography. Everybody that's on the digital forum list will be getting an email with the description and some of her photos. She's another excellent photographer. So that will be our second hour speaker for January at the digital forum. So join us for that. Anybody that's interested in joining that, it's free. Just let me know, and I'll give you a link to sign up for the digital forum. Fourth Saturday of the month, 10 o'clock till about noon, 1 o'clock. We've been running longer lately.
Yeah, usually the first half of the meeting is just general questions you can ask just about anything photography, and then I'll have the presentation in the second half of the meeting.
Okay.
So we had a past outing for Christmas lights in Cedarburg with Jesse and Jane Hurst, and I was there, and it was kind of miserable. We had some nice snow, but it was drizzly, and everybody was fighting with raindrops and wet cameras, and it was also fairly crowded to get some open shots. And upcoming outing, we've been working with trying to figure out what will happen for a morning at the Port Washington Lake front. And Ken Warning and Jane Hurst were going to lead that up, but they're kind of in the mode of, let's see what the weather's going to be like, because ideally it should be very light cloud cover, if any, and cold kind of around 0 produces some nice fog effect in the harbor. Ken or Jane, do you want to talk any more about that? What kind of timing?
Well, we'll
Go ahead, Jane, go ahead.
we'll have to stay tuned for what the weather does.
Yeah,
Last year, I think it was like the last week of January into February.
yeah. So will we be sending out an email when you get a date out, or do you want people to email you and let them know they're interested in going, or?
Well, anybody can email and say that they're interested. That would be good. But generally, we'll get an email out.
Okay,
I can watch the weather forecast. We'll continue to watch the weather forecast and give a few days notice of when we think would be the ideal time.
okay. What were you gonna say,
Let
Ellen?
me know and I can get an email out to the group too, so.
Okay, tonight we're going to have Jane Hurst slideshow on the
Hey, Roger,
losing my
real
place,
quick.
yeah.
Real quick. I just want to throw in there, since we're talking about field trips. The Chicago Botanic Orchid Show isn't until February. It's February and into March. But tickets do go on sale January 19th, which is why I figured I'd bring it up now since we meet after that.
Okay.
I don't think we have a date necessarily for the club. I don't know exactly when the photographer hour dates are at the moment. There are, for those who don't know, there's a photographer hour that you can sign up ahead of time. I know the times are 8:15 to 9:45 in the morning. Nice part is that's the only time you can use a tripod if you're a tripod user. Otherwise, you can just go anytime that the show's open and shoot handheld. So anyways, I just figured I'd bring it up in case people need a reminder to go buy tickets, because
I think the photographer hour is on Tuesday, if I remember right.
it is Tuesdays. I just can't remember. I can't find the dates of the show other than I know it's February and March.
Is there a lot of competition for those tickets that you need to get them early?
The photographer hours typically, it's not like they sell out historically. It's not like they sell out the first day or anything, but they, as you get closer and closer and closer to them, they can sell out. The regular shows times don't usually sell out that I know of.
Okay.
So
That's February 11th. February 11th.
February
through
11th
March 26th.
through the 26th. I think, yeah. Brian told me that, so I put it in the newsletter. So that's when the dates are, the 11th of February through March 26th.
So that'd be probably the 14th, February 14th through March 21st are going to be the photographer hour ones, those Tuesday ones. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to pick a date or if people just, it's not really like a big field trip where we're all hanging out. We all kind of pass each other and see each other, but I definitely figured I'd remind everybody that it's coming up. And if we want to pick a date, we can pick a date. If not, we can talk about it at the February meeting too.
Probably talk about it at the February meeting.
Sounds good.
Jane Hurst puts together 2 slideshows a year, and the one that she's going to be showing tonight will be favorite images. Many members have sent in images that she'll show. It's about a 20-minute video, and she'll also be doing one for leading lines in June. We'll get to that slideshow shortly here. I have a chart slideshow of pictures of holiday decorations that people have sent me that I'll be showing and for the President's Challenge. And for next month, please send in pictures for textures. we don't have any show and tell tonight. But do you have some scheduled next week, Ellen, or next month?
No, we're wide open till June.
Yeah, we
So-
just got a email a little while ago from Mark and Cindy Van Cleves that they went on a trip and they could sign up for one of these coming months.
I have a few people, I have about 3 people that can kind of fit into some of the months in the spring, like February, March, April, May, and so on. So,
Ellen, I'd like to do March.
okay,
I'll do something as a preliminary for our trip to the zoo.
all right.
That first trip to the zoo, I'd like to set the date as April 1. April 1, that winter trip.
Okay, that would be the inside at the zoo, correct?
That's the main focus. We're not going to
Yeah.
limit people for that, but that's the focus.
Right. The focus is inside.
And
This is Mark. I could do the February one. The question I had put in my email to Ellen and Roger was whether you wanted to do it just the show and tell. We were in Israel, Jordan, and Egypt for 17 days. And I took over 1,200 images. I've whittled it down to about 250, which is obviously way too many. So if I did the show and tell, it would just be an extremely high level, 15 or 20 shots. Or if we wanted to expand it a bit into a tips and hints type thing where I had maybe 20 minutes, then I could do a little bit more complete job of showing you what we saw and also talk about some of the challenges that I had to deal with because of the type of tour that we were on, where, I had 2 seconds basically to frame the shot and take it and then keep going, because otherwise I was going to be holding the whole group up, and that's not a good idea. So it doesn't really matter to me which way you want me to go. I could do either way on February.
Here's the thing with February. I think we're going to have our speaker, Lewis Katz, first. Is that correct, Jeff? Because he's out east and it's easier for him to do it at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, he preferred to
how
do
long-
it first thing because it gets sort of late for him. So we thought we could do him first. So then we basically have most of the rest of the evening. So
I
February
would say,
wouldn't be terrible. We got plenty of time then.
I would say go for the length then in February, but it would be after the guest speaker. He usually speaks for about an hour or so, correct?
Yeah, that's about what he
Okay.
should be doing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so we'll do the meeting business first before his presentation, which should take 15 minutes or so, and by 7:30 he should be starting his presentation, and if it's an hour, takes us to 8:30, and we should have about half hour for Mark.
Okay, that should work just fine.
You're
Okay.
down for February, Mark.
All right, thanks.
All right. So, like I said, we're going to have the slideshow from Jane here in a minute. And then after that, we'll have the voting for the
Club Showcase.
PSA.
The
club showcase. I got to be careful what words I use. There's a bunch of competitions that have close to the same name.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'll show my slideshow of the holiday decorations. So, Jane.
Roger?
What?
Roger, may I say something?
Sure.
When there's a break? I had invited photographers to come up to West Bend to photograph the Christmas parade.
Oh, yes. How'd that go?
Okay, and Linnea was the only person who was able to come. So she turned in her photos and they were thrilled with them. The city of West Bend would like to ask our club if they would be willing to come back every year at Christmas time and photograph the Christmas parade. And they're willing to pay us like $100 each
Wow.
year to do that, so that they could use the photos on their website and stuff like that. So is that something the club might be interested in?
I think so. That's, for us, that's basically another outing.
And it's a paid outing too.
Yeah.
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 We need to find more gigs like this. I think the zoo should hire us too, you know?
Well, the only thing I'll say is then we have to make sure that somebody shows up
Yeah.
if we commit to them. So
Sure.
it'd be
Yes.
really bad if we committed and then none of us showed up.
You know, being the person that went, I had so much fun. The one thing I asked Patty though, is I love little kids in parades and you feel like a stalker, you know, like you've got this big camera lens and you're looking at this little kid and the parent doesn't know who you are. So that's the only thing I asked Patty is if we could have just some ID badge that you could just show somebody so that the parents are comfortable. What I wound up doing was just handing out business
Yeah.
cards like, you can call me, you know, it's okay. But it was really fun. I would really recommend it. I loved it. It was really fun.
Press photographer. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Make us
And
look
I don't
cool.
think that would, I don't think that'd be a problem because our company is that I work for is in the business of creating just that very thing. So,
Oh,
Oh,
perfect.
so we'd get them at cost. So
yeah.
Then we
I
can
don't
avoid
think
that
that'd be a
whole
problem.
stalker thing. Yeah, all right.
Patty, is there a date for that yet?
The next one will be in December of 23. I don't have a date yet, but
So basically
they'd just
12
like to
months from
know if
now.
we'd like to do that. And they weren't sure, Linnea, I know they've sent you a thank you card. Did they include the check in with the card or no?
No, I received a very nice thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they're awesome people.
Yeah.
They've just been going nuts over Christmas and stuff because they're running the jewelry store in our business and the Christmas parade and everything else going on at the same time. She couldn't remember if she sent you the check or so I'll give her the address where, for the treasurer to receive the check then and let them know that they can send it. But they were thrilled with your photos. They said they were just perfect.
They were cute. Yeah, I put some in the newsletter. And I can promote this or tell more people about it in the November and December newsletter of 2023, but that's so far away for me right now that I'm writing it down.
Yeah, it's not an emergency, but
No.
I'll let them know that we're interested. So
Thank you.
We'll go from there.
About having an ID badge and stuff. That reminds me of an article I read from a female photographer who was in Afghanistan, and she found that wearing a photographer's vest let her get into areas she normally couldn't as a woman. There are all male areas that if she didn't have that on, that they would assume that she shouldn't be there.
I think West Bend's a little more open-minded, so we're probably good with that.
Well, in taking
but I mean,
pictures of
that's
someone's
different.
kids and stuff, it might help.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Jane, how are you doing there? You're muted. Okay.
Jeff, do I need to do something to get the music to play on the share
Yeah,
screen?
when you click share screen, make sure you check the box at the bottom of the screen that for music and for video.
Okay.
There's 2 check boxes in the bottom, and then it should play the music okay.
Fantastic job.
I have a quick question. After all those marvelous images, I think it was Sally. There was a crab and blue-footed boobies. Were those taken in the Galapagos? Hello?
She has her mute on,
Oh,
Yeah.
but actually she told me that she did. She took them there.
okay. I thought so because, my wife and I were there many years ago and that's where we saw those same creatures. Thank you.
Well, great job, Jane. And
25, we had 25 people.
wow,
So by far the best turnout.
good. And great pictures too.
And I like the concerto machine, whatever it is. I think that I did a Shazam on it to find out what it was, and I think I'll buy that one.
Okay, well, next on our schedule is to do the judging for the Club Showcase entries. And a email was sent out with a spreadsheet. Let's see if I can get it to show up. No, it doesn't want to show it. But yeah, there's one. And so you can, put a copy on your computer and fill out the digital version, or I like to do a printout, work with a pencil and scribble and erase and whatever. Who's going to?
I've got a quick question, Roger.
Sure.
Are we scoring these 1 to 5 or 2 to 5?
It really is 2 to 5.
Okay.
I'll go over it here real quick. I did drop this score sheet into the chat in case somebody does need it. What we have are 91 images, and we score them 2 to 5. And if you look at the bottom of the score sheet that I sent, they've got an allocation that they want you to do with the scoring. So this gets sometimes a little tricky. It's not like a normal scoring. You're sort of adjusting the scores to match what they're looking for here, which is 4 to 6 5s, 30 or so 4s, 40 or so 3s, 6 to 11 2s. So what will happen is you can, once we'll go through these a number of times, I'll go through them all once and I'll call out the number. Then we'll do it again and you can actually score them. And then I'll go through them a third time so that you can adjust the scores that you may be. And if you want me to, I can always do a fourth time. There is a group of them that are X'd out, and those are our photos, so we don't score our own for our clubs. And what will happen is we send all the score sheets in to Bonnie Zaduma, who runs this competition, and she totals all the numbers up, and then it will determine which club scores the best and what images score the best. So it's just a fun little thing. This isn't anything drastic and that. So just score it the way you feel like it should be scored. Are there any questions before I start? All right. So let's. Yeah, it's interesting that shows up that way. Okay. Just a minute. Of course, it went to the screen I didn't want it to go to.
Yeah, I was wondering if we were gonna score on Steve or score on me now.
All right. For some reason, let's do this. And it's got to be that screen. There we go. Now we got that. So I'll just start going through them. This is image number 1. Image number 2. Image number 3. Image number 4. Image number 5. Image number 6. Number 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12, and that's our image. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25, and that's our image. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38, and that's our image. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49. 50. 51, that's our image. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. That's not our image yet. 62. 63. 64. That's our image. 65. 66. 67. 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, that's our image. 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, that's our image, and 91. I am just gonna try this. Okay, you can see down here, I don't know, yeah, there's the image number if you guys need it. I can keep reading them off, but the image number does show up on the bottom of the frame, so. Do you want me to go slower, faster?
A bit slower, please.
Okay. We'll
I'm
start with
not seeing, Jeff, I'm not seeing an image number at the bottom of the frame.
I'm not
You're
either.
not? Oh, okay. I see it on my monitors. I mean, I see it on my external monitor. It's at the very bottom. But yeah, your screen might be cutting it off.
Yeah, I do see it. Depends how you have it, you know, on the view.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll call it out. This is number 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12, and that's our image. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25 is our image. 26. 27. 28. 29. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. 37. 38 is our image. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44. 45. 46. 47. 48. 49. 50. 51's our image. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. 62. 63. 64 is our image. 65. 66. 67. 68. 69. 70. 71. 72. 73. 74. 75. 76. 77 is our image. 78. 79. 80. 81. 82. 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90 is our image, and 91. I'll give everybody a minute or two here to check your scores. So how are we doing?
I think we're doing fine. I'd say let's run through them one more time.
Okay, everybody, I'll run through it a little quicker.
Okay. Okay.
Yell if it's too fast and I can slow down. It's a lot of numbers to read. Of course, this is number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Number 8. Number 9. 10. 11. 12 is ours. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is ours, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 is ours, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51 is ours, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64 is ours, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77 is ours, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90 is ours, 91. Well, now I know how to count to 1 to 91. I don't know about the next 9. Everybody have it?
I've got mine.
Well done.
Because I don't really want to do it a 4th time.
Oh,
we're good.
man.
I could go backwards.
If you don't have it by now, just fill them in.
Yeah.
The answers are 2, 3, 4.
Got it.
I thought I was being extremely brutal and I came out with the numbers just about right.
No, that's good. Yeah, there's a number of good images there.
Yeah.
Yes, there was.
Jeff, are we emailing these back to you then?
Yeah, email them to me. I'll gather them all up and then I send them on to Bonnie. I'll actually, if you can email them, that's the best. If you want to mail them to me, you can mail them the slow way.
You prefer PDF or Excel?
PDF is fine, or Excel, either one.
Will they be anonymous?
Yep.
Totally. All right.
In your anonymous email?
Yeah.
No,
Nothing's anonymous.
I make sure that each file doesn't have anybody's name on it. We'll just call it Menomonee Falls Camera Club 1 through whoever. Appreciate it.
All right.
We'll see how we do this year. You never know. But we're up against a lot of good images, so.
That's right. Okay. Moving on, really the last thing on the schedule is I have the slideshow of the President's Challenge, which is a theme of holiday decorations. And I'll do a share screen and test to see whether I can get it to show right.
Okay. Don't forget to check sound and video.
Right. Optimize video clip, screen 1. Okay. Well, yeah, but I got it on the wrong screen. I don't know if I can move it. Yeah, here we go. I'll get it full screen here and then I'm gonna try that again.
Yeah, don't you hate when it goes to the wrong screen?
Yeah. And this doesn't want to change. Well, now I got it going here. Let's go back to the beginning here. Were you able to hear the sound? It's a little on the soft side for some reason.
Yeah, right now you're not sharing, so we're not seeing it.
Oh. Well, that's why I was able to get it to that other screen now. Because that's the one I'm not sharing. So are you seeing the start of the
Yep.
slideshow?
Yep.
Okay. And actually, I didn't do the sound. So I probably need to do it again. With enough tries, I'll get it right. Share screen, share, optimize, share screen, 1.
Yeah, check both those boxes on the bottom.
Yep, they were still checked, so it should have worked. So
Okay,
ready for me to try again?
go for it.
Okay, that's all that I have for the President's Challenge for this week. Thanks for the entries. Most of those were from the Cedarburg outing, but kind of fun. I like the music I found for that. So that's everything on our schedule. Any questions, notes, or anything anybody wants to ask?
Yeah, I was just wondering how many people follow the Facebook for this group. So it was, for instance, I'll post things there. Sometimes I don't send things in because I think most of the group goes there, but I don't know that.
Well, personally, I get notifications when some stuff is put on there and I'll check it out, but I don't go there that often. I don't know what
Currently
everybody
have
else does.
35 members. We have 35 members to give you an idea how many people are in there.
I think I saw some stuff on Facebook for you guys. I think I've been on there.
Mhm.
I'm curious as to why would it be a closed group? Wouldn't this be something to like advertise to other people to like get interested in us?
There are two groups. One
There-
is open, one is closed.
Oh,
One is
okay.
one is a page. We have a page
Oh,
for
okay.
the club, and then we have a group. The main reason why you have a group as private is they turn into spam fests with bots and such. If you have it open, you'll start getting tons of ads and things like that from fake accounts and stuff like that. If you have an open
Mm.
account, I know other photography groups that have that problem.
Ellen, Elizabeth Wickham isn't getting her newsletter. Or anything from you from the way it looks.
She should check her spam
I
folder. I
do.
think,
It's not in my spam.
no, because that's where mine started going a couple of months ago. All of a sudden I didn't get them. I don't know if
I've never gotten them.
All right.
I'll double.
Elizabeth, do you get it when I send out an email to the group?
I don't know if you sent one lately. I know I get the ones for the Zoom meetings.
Okay, yeah. It would be for field trips is usually the ones that I sometimes send out.
Did you say you didn't get the voting sheet? That came from Jeff.
I did not get the voting sheet.
That all went through Elizabeth or through Ellen, so.
Okay.
Yeah. I need an updated members list because I got something from Laura Krasinski that said she got one, but she didn't.
Right, she didn't renew.
Now
we're in the process of going through the sheets to see who is renewed and who hasn't, and
I probably got the most accurate. I probably got the most accurate one from all the members that have signed up. So I'll send you each a copy of that one I've got.
Yeah.
So Jeff, I am getting yours. I have the one for the pizza party, the group photo, the favorite slideshow. I got those from you.
Okay. So it's the ones from Ellen that's not getting there.
Yeah. And I may have taken her name off the list a while ago, but I don't know.
Well, I've only been here for like 3 months.
Oh.
Yeah, she should be on the list, Ellen.
Okay. Okay. I'll have to check and see, but that's
okay.
Okay. So you're a new member then, right?
Relatively, yes.
Okay. So maybe that's why I haven't, because I know I've seen your name before, but I think that was for Digital Forum, right? Probably.
Could be Wacko, whichever.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll check it out, but it's very possible that we haven't connected with our paid members and stuff like that. So I'll send you the last one.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
We're gonna have to work on a better system. I'm working on it a little bit to keep this stuff all straight. So
it gets confusing once in a while. I know, just back and forth, and who does what, and who's going to be speaking, who's speaking when. My heart stopped when Jeff said just to reconfirming that somebody Lewis was going to be speaking in March or in February, and I'm going, what?
Yeah. That was a name out of the past that I haven't thought about for a long time. Chuck Lewis, Charles Lewis. He was a portrait photographer and a nut. All at the same time.
I read further into the email, and then it said Lewis Katz. I'm going, okay, so I don't have to change that whole section. Thank you.
So,
but it gets a little crazy with us once in a while because things sort of fly around at basically we learn to fly by the seat of our pants and last minute changes occur. So I'll check into that, Elizabeth. All right.
Yeah, I got to work on, there's a couple things that I plan, and we'll talk about this at our planning meeting, but I also want to get all the YouTube stuff off of my YouTube spot and get it onto the club's own. So I think we'll start our own Menomonee Falls Camera Club YouTube channel.
Okay, that makes sense.
Sure.
And we might be able to do something else with keeping a membership list in a Google document on with the Gmail that we create from it. So
Okay.
working on that stuff. There's a bunch of that. I want to get a lot of this stuff out of my name, so we need to get that set up.
All right.
Okay, well, without a main speaker here, we're pretty short meeting so far.
I just want to say, Jeff, Ellen, I just sent you a copy of the list that I have.
Okay. All right. I will check on that tomorrow and we will take care of that. So.
Yeah, I think
Good.
you did that too last month, and mine is pretty up to date, but and I'm going to email the people that haven't paid and give them one more shot before they get knocked off the Zoom list.
Okay.
So those of you that haven't paid, if you're on here, I think everybody on here is paid, I believe, except for, of course,
I
Pam,
haven't
our
yet.
new member.
Right.
And you can come for a couple times, then you'll need to pay. And where are we here? We're in January, man. So that's going to go Pat half rate, right? Because we're halfway through.
Right. That's what you sent in the email.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's right.
Okay, so Pat and Jeff, I did send you Laura's name off the list, right?
Yeah, I already had her off the list.
Yes, I saw that.
Okay.
Somewhere, because she emailed me and said she wasn't renewing. She liked the club. It's just that she can't make the meetings and all that. So it was something like that. So she
Even
really
Zoom
enjoyed being here last year. She just, things changed and she wasn't going to participate this year.
Okay, Pam, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. So like the pictures that were in the slideshows and the pictures that we voted on, how do you know like what criteria you need to meet? I mean, are there certain things that you guys ask for? Like, are you looking for like so many nature photography pictures, like textures, different things? Because I know I got some stuff from a different club too, and they are looking for like so many of each different picture to submit. How do you guys do that when you guys decide what pictures you're going to submit for the slideshows?
Well,
And to vote on?
basically the slideshows are pretty much open as to what you submit. We've got a basic theme, and other than that, there is no criteria other than something that hopefully is interesting. You can do any type of editing that you want, and they can be black and white or whatever.
The President's Challenge is totally open, and I get pictures to put in the newsletter, and Roger gets pictures because he's the president to put in the slideshow. And they're not always the same. I have a limited amount of space in the newsletter, so sometimes I won't be able to do it, but those are wide open. Now, when it comes to some of the other competitions and so on, there's a lot of criteria.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just for the slideshows, they're more or less just for fun. And there isn't a lot of criteria. Now, the one that Jane Hurst will be showing in June will be with a theme of leading lines. I believe it's leading lines and S curves too. But yeah, so
yeah, it was something like that. That's it's in the newsletter.
I think I just put leading lines, so I don't know if I have part of it. It gets too wordy then. So it's just, well, leading lines, S curves, they're all leading. Some are just curvier than others. Okay.
But yeah, when you get into competition like for WACO, I don't know if you know what WACO is.
Not yet.
WACO is Wisconsin Area Camera Clubs. It's a collection of about 25 clubs across the state. And WACO holds a competition twice a year. And the criteria that they use for the categories is the same as PSA photography.
Photographic Society of America.
Photographic Society of America. Yeah, and they're quite strict on photojournalism and nature. And because of that, they've also come up with a couple new categories that allow for some extra editing, like replacing the sky. You can't do that in a nature, straight nature category. And in the straight open, I believe it is, you cannot. But then there's also an open, there's an open limited and a straight open. Is that what the categories are? Where one you can and one you can't do that type of creative editing.
Yeah. The open category, it all depends on the different groups that we work with. PSA has some rigid rules. All the images have to be, or all parts of the image have to be your own. When we get into the WACO competition, that comes up in May this year. We will be explaining that more, but that's also all the parts of the image have to be your own, and we have a number of different categories in that. Our group also does the show and tell, which you sort of heard us talk about. That's 7.5 minutes of images that you have, any kind of image that you have that you just want to show and talk about.
Okay.
And you can talk to Ellen about signing up for a month. We do 2 of those a month normally.
I have room.
Yeah, plenty of room usually.
Yeah, and those images, you can do travel images and talk about your trip, or you can talk about specific images that you want to explain how you edited them, or different procedures that you did with them, or your favorite images, or on a certain theme.
As a matter of fact, we have a post-processing coming up sometime in I'm not sure, but you'll hear about it in the newsletter, where you can volunteer and show how you would process some of your images and what you would do to them. Some of them are unique, some of them are very traditional, and some of them have Snoopy on a doghouse. So it depends. It depends upon your mood that particular day. That was for you, Tony.
It was actually on a lighthouse, one that
Oh, all right.
several of us processed.
Okay. All right.
That answers my questions. Thank you.
Great. Well, while we got time here, Roger, if you don't mind, maybe we can talk about, and Ken chime in on this, because we might as well have our group talk about what they'd like to see WACO do in person and not in person. I mean, some of you filled out the surveys, and that's great, but is there any info that you'd like to give us of what you'd like to see us bring back in person, and what you'd like to see us keep as virtual, or as I'm now calling it, digital meetings over in-person meetings? And don't all talk at once.
Jeff, I think the in-person meeting, when we had it at the community center, the way that room was set up, it was very, very difficult for those of us that kind of hung to the back of the room to either see what was going on, to hear what was going on. The advantage with Zoom, it's right here. I think we can all hear what's going on. What we really do lack, I think having the December meeting and maybe the July picnic, where at least we can come together and chit chat and share information and not lose track of reality is right now it's working. And
I think it's a real
I
nice.
think the
mix.
Zoom meetings work out rather well, personally.
I agree with Joe, but I would still love to have an in-person lab with lighting.
Yeah.
Lighting is still my struggle with everything.
Well, maybe when we have one of these meetings, instead of just eating pizza, we can spend half of it talking about a topic. Maybe we do it every other month and have pizza.
It's really more hands-on, it's good to have hands-on experience. Like, hey, I don't quite understand it. It's nice to actually have it in person. And, sometimes it's difficult somewhat to explain over Zoom, but when you're actually there in person, like, okay, this is what we do. This is how we set up.
All right.
Well, if somebody, finds a studio that, the group could go to, we could set up a field trip for that. I actually don't know many photographers anymore.
Jeff, how about arts? They've got a lot of, they got that studio space in the basement. They do professional work down there. We've been down
Do
there.
they?
I've been down there.
I gotta admit, I've never been down
I'm sorry.
there.
Not,
Oh, you mean
Crevellas.
Crevellas.
I'm sorry, Crevellas.
Yeah.
Well, for
Yes,
what it's worth, if I win the lottery tonight, I'll set up a studio everybody could use.
Yeah, I don't have a studio anymore, so it's not like we can come out here to my place. My studio now is a 10-foot by 10-foot setup instead of a big barn. But if we find a place that we can, and a photographer, we certainly could do something like that.
Here's an idea. I'm the board of directors at the EAA chapter 1158 in West Bend. We got a whole hangar, so we could have a photo shoot or whatever at the hangar. So we got, right now there's 4 airplanes in there, and we could get another 4 airplanes in there. So we got more than enough room and size in there. We got an 8-foot, I'm sorry, we got an 11-foot projector screen. We got a bunch of tables. We got a kitchen. We got 2 refrigerators, so we could even eat there too in that.
Wow. That sounds pretty impressive.
Yep. And if you want, you can go flying too. So bring your own airplanes and helicopters too.
I guess it depends upon what you want to photograph. I mean, like Crevellas, they've got the lights in the basement. So you can do, models if you can come up with some models, but depends on what you want to shoot, what the theme is.
Yeah. I don't know what their criteria would be for someone to come in like a camera club to use their equipment.
I think we could hire them, and basically they could do it like as a class, bring a photographer in. And I've done something down there. I can't remember if it was with the camera club. I thought it was years ago, but maybe it wasn't.
Yeah, years ago, Crevellas hosted our club down, gave us a tour of the whole place upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah, I remember.
And then talked about something. I don't remember what it was at the time. We could certainly.
I did photography there, Jeff.
Did you? Okay. Did we do
pre-COVID? Tamron sponsored like 3 or 4 workshops in Crevellas studio.
Okay.
I think that'd be the one to try, for wintertime.
Well, we're having a speaker from Crevellas sometime in the spring, right?
Correct, Jeff.
Okay.
Jeff on flash photography in March, I believe it is.
April, I think.
April, I'm sorry, April.
Okay.
I will
Because
just
March-
seen him today, but I can ask him. I have to stop at Mike Crivello's next week, Tuesday, and I can ask if we could do, a tour and also is if it's possible, do the, model shoot there.
That would be
It's-
fun.
It
Yeah,
would be something to consider maybe for next sessions, for next year. Oh,
Yeah.
God, already.
Well, it's-
I know one
good
or
time.
two people who own a studio, so I can also check with them.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that would be great, Elizabeth, because we need somebody that, can explain lighting and
Right,
do
and
something
they would
with
do
it.
that too, so let me check with them and I'll send you
Yeah.
an email.
Yeah.
Well, this is some great ideas.
yeah.
All right.
Does anyone know anybody over at Arts? I know I've taken a bunch of classes there. It was years ago, but I've taken a bunch of classes there in the past.
Yeah, that's harder now since they closed the Pewaukee store and they only have Greenfield.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know the arts people very well.
Okay.
I'm good friends with one of them, so I can check with her too and see if she has any thoughts on if arts.
Okay.
Yeah, one thing that happened with the arts was the woman who was in charge of the
Classes passed
the
away.
classes. She passed away just out of the blue. She was relatively young. And so they've just recently started opening up classes again. They just shut down all their classes for a while.
Was that in the past year or two?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, just last
It was
year.
last year.
Mhm.
Okay, then I know who you're talking about, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, she was so nice. So it was just a shock, but I get their newsletter and I did see that they've hired someone else now to oversee the classes and that they're opening things back up again.
Oh, I think these are some great ideas, what the members of our chapter or our club would be interested in. So it's nice to throw out these ideas and suggestions.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
I
we need
thought
all the
of.
help we can get for August planning, and it's only 8 months away.
Yeah.
One thing is that helps out a lot is we do a lot of, field trips, to the zoo, down to Chicago. So there are a lot of opportunities for hand-on, I guess, experiences. So
Yeah, something I've seen other clubs do that, for those of us that kind of miss the in-person thing, some camera clubs have like study groups where they form like small groups where one group wants to learn how to do landscape. So they'll kind of band together and set up, kind of a study group to improve on that particular topic. So lighting would be perfect for that sort of a group as well.
There's a club that I have joined to Zoom, and they do that similar thing. They call it SIG, Special Interest Groups. And then they have a little email list of the people who are interested in that type of, landscape, birding, wildlife, whatever. And so they will get together as that group to discuss things and have outings.
Yeah, that'd always be a possibility. We could even set up a regular Zoom meeting with Zoom rooms that people could break off and do. It's a different format. It's a normal Zoom meeting, not a webinar like we do, but that could always be something we could work on.
I know most of our cameras that we purchase now, we don't really talk about it, would be the video capability, although that's really more of video side instead of the photography side.
Yeah.
So Jeff, you brought up the separate rooms and that Skyloom's coffee break. They used to do them on every day of the week. And on Fridays, it was fun because we would get one image and then Vanelli would split us off into maybe, depending on how many people were in the coffee break that day, 6 different rooms. And we'd all go in with the Luminar and we'd all go around and give whatever edit we wanted to do. And then we'd come back as a group and show how we edited and talk about why we did what we did. So it was, because it's Luminar, it was a way to learn Luminar, but it was kind of fun to be off in the group and then come back and see all the different ways everybody was editing the photos.
Huh. Yeah, I know they're now only meeting Mondays and Wednesdays, but
And Thursdays. Then there's a side group on Fridays.
oh, okay.
But
I
that's
know
not
about the Monday and
official
Wednesday
Skyloom.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going off and doing, even just taking one meeting and doing that and getting an image or two and everyone goes in their group and edits. Because everyone would go around and say well, now I think you should do this. And then the person who was in charge of that room would make the edit requested by that person. And it was just fun to see what we all came back with.
Almost sounds
Yeah, I'd
like
have to-
something that you'd do with Lightroom and digital form.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something that we could do there too. It's harder being in the webinar format over the meeting format. There's just, for me, advantages of doing it as this webinar. Mainly because it takes care of emailing automatically. But a meeting, yeah, we could certainly do breakouts. I just wish they'd bring breakout rooms to the meeting now. The only way you can do that is in their events stuff, and that's another pricing tier,
Naturally.
of course, and a rather expensive one. But yeah, I'll research and see if I can figure out an easy way to do it. What it comes down to is just sending out reminder emails for these meetings, and the webinar part does it automatically for me, where the regular meeting one, it doesn't send out a reminder, and I have to do it manually, and that's a pain.
Yeah.
And it's too expensive to use like MailChimp or something that could do it automatically, because that gets real expensive.
Well, I like the idea of people making up ideas and suggestions on what we can do and what we can improve on. So I like that. I like the creative thinkings, like just keep bringing out ideas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make
and
less.
even we need suggestions for speakers for next year too. So keep, as you see somebody, let us know. And we'll see about bringing them in either here, and I keep a list even for our club and for Digital Forum. So far, I have 4 speakers lined up this year for Digital Forum, working on May right now. And through the summer, I plan to have a speaker every meeting if I can do it.
I did like the idea about the drone photography. That was really cool, different viewpoints that you just can't get unless you're in a helicopter or whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes even a helicopter, you can't get to the drone. You can just sneak into these places and that.
Yeah, and we can, if people are interested in drone photography, we can get, we got a number of people that we can bring in for that. Actually got 3 people.
I'm just wondering how many people in our club have a drone. I think Peter has one, and I forget who else might have one.
Yeah, I haven't gotten one yet. I keep thinking about it after Dan Anderson talked at Digital Forum and showed all his neat stuff from Door County. and that with his drone. Got me interested.
Yeah, I'm still put
Thought
off.
his pictures were absolutely amazing. Yeah.
I'm put off as to how many places have restricted the use of them, and yeah, I don't know that many places that I would be allowed to use it. But learning about drones in general, would that be a possibility for an outing to go somewhere with someone that has a drone and watch them use it, see how you take pictures with it? You hear about drones, but a lot of us
We
haven't
might be
seen
able to
one
get,
or see-
yeah, we might be able to get somebody like Marty Welter to come down from north. I mean, it would be a summer or spring thing. He might be willing to come down for something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
Randy
know if anybody.
Schirkenbach.
Yeah,
Randy, yeah, he's in Milwaukee, I think. So he's closer.
yeah, and then we got in Digital Forum, there's Drema Swader that does drone photography. She might be able to do something for us.
Yeah.
If we can get enough interest, to do something like that. But we need, send us suggestions, send us names of people you'd like to see. And we'll see about bringing them in. With being on Zoom, it just makes it so much easier to bring these people in, and they're not charging as much these days to do a hour Zoom presentation. So we can afford a little bit.
Yeah, and the Zoom allows us to get people from outside the area.
Yep. Yeah, you look at all the speakers that we've been able to get for this year even. We got Lewis from the East Coast next month.
We had that one person also from down in Texas that did the weather chasing.
Yeah, and we've got him in March, I believe, if I remember right.
If he
And then we
shows
got
up,
Jeff
that's
Dobbs
his
in
busy,
April.
busy season.
Yeah, we got to get him before, summer hits. I've got him for Digital Forum too, Mike Mazul. He's going to be at the Digital Forum talking about volcano photography, which should be real interesting.
Yeah, I know down south it's been pretty active with the weather and tornadoes lately.
Yeah, let's just hope no bad weather comes when he's got to talk to us on Tuesday. Well, it's a Tuesday night, so.
Sorry, no tornadoes on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
If not, it could be live on scene and that, okay, this is what I would do.
How many people, if we're getting 9 o'clock, but how many people would be interested if Wacko brought the print competition back to being in person? How many would enter and how many would go watch the competition?
Oh, I would.
I
would for sure watch. I might enter.
Yeah. I would go to it. I always thought that was interesting. I do have to admit that I'm getting spoiled on how easy it is to deal with digital prints instead of paper prints for the competition.
Yeah.
A lot cheaper too.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's nice to also have more categories to put something in to try and win some honorable mentions or something.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out a way to do it and keep the projected stuff still because it's just so much easier for the judges to judge that online than to get them here. But if we do prints, we got to figure out how we get 3 judges here and where to hold it and all that kind of fun stuff. But
Yeah. Well, that's stuff that you've all dealt with before that can be handled, but I do admit that doing all of the slideshow and the prints gets to be kind of a long day.
yeah, we're thinking of just doing the prints by themselves.
Yeah.
And that might be a good way to do it, and do one competition with prints and then another competition digitally.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically got 2 categories just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the judging is going to be different. That's the hybrid thing.
Yeah.
True.
Well, I think, and I don't know, Elizabeth is in charge of competitions, but we are trying to figure out a way to do this stuff both in person and online. So, yeah, Pam.
I had a question, wasn't about competition, but have you guys ever done anything with astrophotography?
Not as a club.
Yeah.
We
got 1 or 2 people that do it.
Challenges location.
Okay.
Yeah. That might be a good one for us to bring a speaker in to just talk about. Because a lot of people are doing Milky Way photography and boy, who's the guy I was just listening to talking about star trails? I look at too many different photographers.
If we were looking at doing any type of outing up at Harrington Beach, usually once a month when the moon isn't out, they open up their telescope and volunteers come to let the public see and use their telescopes. Whether anything could be done in conjunction with that for a display, I could look into that.
I've actually read some articles that people are using their cell phones, or yeah, I think cell phone, and you can use a telescope and then just take the pictures with your cell phone. I don't know how to do it with an actual camera, but I know that a lot of people are doing it with the cameras on their cell phones.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about how you would do it with a DSLR.
Yeah. Well, I've bought the adapter that I can put my camera on my telescope and take pictures. So I've got all the equipment. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. And part of that is that when you put a DSLR on a telescope, now you've got a lot of rebalancing and stuff to do because it's a lot of weight to add to it. If you don't get it balanced right, the drive motors aren't going to track real well.
Oh, sure.
So even though I've spent the money for the adapters, I haven't really tried it yet.
Okay.
Roger, you could talk to Peter Chow about it too, because he does some of that stuff out by Harrington Beach.
Yeah.
And he's a member.
Is he?
So I don't know, Roger, we're at 9:09, so we filled up that half hour that we had and then some.
Yep. Yeah, well, we've come up with some good ideas though, too.
Yep. So I appreciate all the suggestions and ideas. We will put them into a list, and the board meets in August for next year's planning, and that's when we'll probably start doing some of that.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Clint, you're gonna have some head start for when you become president.
Oh, a lot of new stuff too, which would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, it's nice to know the old stuff too, but it's kind of new. It's cool to have the new stuff.
Yep.
And see where we can go, where we can push it and that.
Yeah. So.
I got a question that I'd like to see a raise of hands is how many people are now using a mirrorless camera? About half, 2/3.
Yeah,
Almost about half.
looks like quite a few of us.
Yeah. I admit that I was afraid to transfer to a mirrorless camera and found that it was actually a pleasurable experience. So.
The only thing that's really a negative thing is there's so many menus and that it's, oh my God, there's so many menus.
So many new features to learn.
Yeah.
And features.
But if you're going from a DSLR to a mirrorless, I found that even if I didn't try to learn any of those, I could function just fine. It would work just the same as my old DSLR. But I had so many more new toys on it to learn and play with.
Yep. Yeah, always something to learn with it.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that pretty well does it for the meeting, and we'll call it to an end.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye, everybody. Have a good January.
Yep.
Nice meeting, everyone.
Yep, same here, Pam.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, you too.